Hey everybody, welcome to Element 6, all about pollution and waste. Um, Again, one of my passion things here, my family calls me the recycle Nazi. Um, and I've come a long way in looking at my motivation around that and behind that and why I'm so passionate about that. But before that, let's look at the prompts. Pollution, chemical, thermal, trash dumping, water supply contamination, or even water supply depletion. And we'll get to that in a minute. Waste, lack of recycling, money driven production, food waste, gluttony. So, again, just like with all of these elements, it's so complicated. There's so much to talk about here. Pollution and waste is what I wrote on my workbook is it's disrespecting the earth. I mean, do we really think that we have a do-over, that we can just pick up and go somewhere else? Well, maybe we do, because we somewhere in there realize that none of this is real, that this is all just a game we're playing, just like a video game. You turn it off and it all goes away, and it never did exist. um, which is the expanded perspective on looking at all this. But in the meantime, when we're down here living day to day, I mean, you look at some of ocean pollution and these islands of trash just floating around. Don't you know that the animals are just looking at us like, what are you thinking? What are you thinking? Why are you doing this? I mean, it really makes no sense. And water supply contamination. There are so many circumstances to where the water's so contaminated that there's nothing you can do. It's just not usable as it is and never will be. Okay, so do we think that we're just going to make more? And I know that there's the whole water cycle and everything, but you it's like a it's a contained cycle. It just keeps recycling. And when you take things out of their ability to recycle in that, you ruin the whole thing. Then there is none. And corporations coming in, which I know we've already done, big business coming in and drilling deeper to take the water from the deeper water table, so that those on the lower water or the higher water table get depleted because they're refilling the lower aquifers. And I mean, so those people that don't have the deep wells can't get to the water. I mean, it's just, it, you wonder where common sense is in all this. And in my opinion, and what I wrote in my workbook, it all comes down to the money, because we've agreed that this ambiguous piece of paper means more than even our lives. I find that just a little bit on the crazy side. Waste, lack of recycling. I've always felt that if you produce a product, you're responsible for that product. So even the trash created by it. So if you, for instance, laundry detergent, if you have these big plastic containers, they should be sent back to you for you to do something with them, whether it's recycle them, turn them into something else, sell them for something else, or just refill them with your product. It's already made in the right shape, so why not? And cars, manufacturers of cars should get them back, and they can be disassembled and remade into new cars. It, to me, it's like, duh, just makes complete sense. Um, Money driven production. I'm going to create this and I'm going to just keep making it even though we really don't need it, or I'm going to make it to wear out so that people will then have to buy it again. And I'm going to get people in the habit of having it so they'll always need it so that I can always have money. And I mean, all of that to me just screams gluttony, which then makes me angry, which then is my ego going, this is all about the ego. So, which we've talked about already on one of these elements. Um, so what else have I written? We really aren't thinking long term these days. And I know I feel in the past we have, that there was that sense of understanding the balance that nature has, and our role in that balance, and how us coming in and creating these waves and the repercussions of everything that we do, every action has an equal and opposite reaction. And we understood that and we anticipated that. And I feel like we've lost that because we needed to turn up the intensity of this game. We needed to turn up the pollution and waste element of our experience to say, no, what's it going to be like? How are we going to feel when we have no clean water, when we have no trees left to create our oxygen? How is that really going to feel? What are we going to do? What are we going to do when we're faced with those challenges? So in my opinion, that's part of the expanded perspective, is looking at it from, okay, we're turning up the intensity on all this. Why? So we can have that experience. So once we realize that it's just that experience, and that we are creating this, let's just not do that anymore. Let's just not participate in that anymore. Let's look at why we need to do that, and then apologize for doing it. Because for me, that is like the healing rains that rain down on on my ego or my soul, that says, no, okay, you got this. It's not undoable. It's not as impossible as you've led yourself to believe. And that, like I always say, that's the point of this course, is getting to that place of seeing that, no, I played a role in this. I played a role in this, and I bought it, and I fed it, and I don't have to anymore. And in order for me to let go of that, come to that place of, I'm no longer going to participate in that. So I'm no longer going to, even from that personal perspective, I'm not going to pollute my body anymore. I'm not going to participate in polluting the planet. I'm not going to contribute to these things. And in doing that, I'm going to do it from the perspective of apologizing to myself and forgiving myself. And the way I see that is that I'm giving up my attachment to that, is I'm taking off that role in playing that game, and I'm completing it. I no longer have to do that. I no longer have to participate in this series of events. It no longer has to tug at me. I don't have to get emotional about it. And I can see it in its entirety, in its completion. And I can then move on without that egoic and emotional charge and draw to this particular um, element. So the main feelings that came to me were a lot of anger, and where's the ethics in all of this? And disrespect. Those were the main emotions that came up in my workbook. Just something else to notice. So, in order to get to that place of coming full circle and gratitude to see this from that expanded perspective, the clearing statement: I experience and accept all pollution and waste, all of it, past, present, and future, for what they all have been in the bigger picture. It is with apology, forgiveness, and love that I have gratitude for the lessons that are now complete in singularity within themselves, all of us, and myself. So let's go ahead and sit back, get comfortable, close our eyes, and take that nice deep breath. I always say that's that deep breath into wholeness. I want to open our hearts, connect to that vibration of the statement we just read, and allow that to be where we create our truth from. Okay. One more deep breath. Oh, that was really, really very personal for me. It spoke to me from that place of where have I been disrespecting myself. When I mentioned the emotions that came up for me was anger, disrespect, and I looked at that and I apologized to myself for that, and that was incredible. And I also felt that once we come to that place of gratitude for the whole thing, all those rules and things that we say have to be or can't be, like I talked about water that can't be cleaned and used again, all those rules fall away and the game changes. So all those things that we believe that we hold into place around pollution and waste and all that just fall away once we complete this. Beautiful. I will be repeating this one. Thanks for joining, and we'll see you on the next element. Bye bye.